Maybe they're not the correct consultancy company to use. I don't know. I'm not an expert in these matters. It's me again. Now, the BBC claim they need you £169.50 a year. Well, they wouldn't survive. So I think it's important that we have a look at what they're spending your hard-earned, hopefully not yours, hard-earned money on. BBC begins independent workplace culture review with consultancy firm. That'll be cheap. That'll be cheap, won't it? Bringing in a consultancy firm for an independent workplace culture review. How many millions of pounds is this costing the BBC? And we'll never know. We will never know. I've filed FOI requests for things like this before. Do you remember during the COVID times, they spent fortunes on proximity sensors. So every member of staff in the office had to wear a little sensor, and it beeped if you got within 2 meters of someone else and tracked you as you went all around the office. I asked them via FOI how much that cost. And they said to me, they can't tell me because it might impair the third-party company's ability to make money on other contracts in the future. Even though I went to the company's website that provided the proximity sensors and the price was clearly displayed on the website. So there's no point in me even considering firing an FOI request for this. So let's just have a look. We'll use our own judgment to see how many millions of your pounds they've wasted on this one. The BBC has appointed a change management consultancy firm to carry out an independent review of its workplace culture after several controversies involving high-profile presenters and TV shows have rocked the corporation in recent months. I've told you before, this place needs closing down. That's the only way to fix it. It's not a culture that they have there. It's just the way they do business. It's the way they do business. And a management consultancy firm.
In, fire 30% of the workforce, new logo, boom, out. You are now a fully trained management consultant.
That's what management consultancy firms are, and they charge you millions of pounds to do that. Announcing the start of the review in an email to staff, BBC Chairman Samir Shah said, "I cannot emphasise enough that I am fully committed to tackling inappropriate or abusive behaviour. For most of us, it's a joy to work at the BBC." Well, it would be, being on the gravy train, wouldn't it? I'd love to be on the BBC. No, I wouldn't actually love to be on the BBC gravy train, but it seems like you'll earn a lot of money to not do a lot because there's so many staff there. Nobody working in the BBC should ever feel fear or worry while working here. Well, in the case of some 70s entertainers, it wasn't the staff working there that were being preyed upon, really, was it? What is clear to me is that we must ensure the BBC is a safe, secure and welcoming workplace for everyone. There you go. There you go. They are going to spend millions of pounds. It will be millions of pounds on an outside firm to come in and make everybody sing Kumbaya in a circle in a meeting room. That's all that's going to be there. And the only reason they're doing it isn't to change their workplace culture. I don't believe that for a second, because as I said, it's ingrained within the BBC who they are. The only way to fix it is to close the BBC down and start again from scratch. The only reason they're doing this is for the headlines. So it looks good. So it looks like they're trying, because they have no control over what's going on there. It's too big, with too many people and not enough decent leadership. People are running riot, and that's why when you hear the scandals of someone who's on telly, it's always out of the BBC. It's always out of the BBC, isn't it? Change Associates previously led the work on the BBC's 2013 Respect at Work review. So the director of Change Associates obviously wants to buy a bigger house. So they've reapproached the BBC to try and get another contract so that he can get another couple of bedrooms in his country pile. The latest review will assess the progress made on those recommendations and will look at work done in other reviews. So they're charging them again to go back and look at something they did in 2013 to see if it's still working. How many of the staff that had to take this course in 2013 would still be there now. So they are doubling their money. God, change associates. I'm going to have a look, mate, see if they've got any vacancies. I need a new house. Change Associates specialises in organisational change. Our services are broadly divided into 4 categories: organisation design, transformation, leadership and culture, and change management. £169.50 a year your household pays to the BBC. You may be struggling at the moment, especially at the moment with things that are going on. You know, I know many people where £169.50 is a lot of money to them at the moment, but they pay the TV licence fee because they feel pressured to do so, or they genuinely do need one, whatever reason. Then the BBC shit on you by spending that money on toss like this. So, it will focus on a number of aspects, including how the BBC can ensure the consequences of inappropriate behaviour and abuse of power are understood by everyone, and that significant issues are dealt with as soon as they are identified and in a consistent manner. How the BBC can ensure so the focus of this thing is ensuring the consequences of inappropriate behaviour and abuse of power are understood. As significant issues are dealt with as soon as they are identified and in a consistent manner. Nowhere here does it say they want to stop inappropriate behaviour and abuse of power, and then you wouldn't have significant issues that need to be dealt with and identified in a consistent manner. You shouldn't have these issues arising, the BBC. I'm going to read back. Does it say here anywhere that they're going to come down like a ton of bricks on anybody? My employer, you do something inappropriate at my place and HR will come down on you like a ton of bricks. I've lost count of the amount of verbal and written warnings I have from my employer for some of the inappropriate jokes I've happened to have told at the workplace. Whether they found them funny or not is immaterial. They still had to give me the warnings. Last month, Director General Tim Davie admitted the BBC's reputation was impacted following the Hugh Edwards scandal during a speech. No, really? Disgraced former presenter Hugh Edwards admitted, yeah, we know what he did. The corporation has asked Edwards to return the estimated £200,000 salary. He needs that. That's basically his pension now, because he ain't working again. Unless you go on his LinkedIn, and then he's offering to work for free for charities in a bid to get, his look a bit better, But he'll be back in it. Give it 10 years. Let this all settle down. He'll be back. He'll be back, won't he? So there you go. I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about what the BBC are spending some of your money on this month. Come back next month for more waste of money. What do you think about this? Absolutely ridiculous. I could lead a review into the BBC if you want, and I won't charge you millions. The BBC. Why not have me do it? Well, no, probably not wise, but do you know what I mean? Someone who's actually going to do something. If you bought this company in 2013 and you're still having these problems, maybe they're not the correct consultancy company to use. I don't know. I'm not an expert in these matters. What do you think about this? Let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below. And while you're down there leaving your comment, hit all the buttons and everything as well. Because if you do that, hopefully I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.